5 years ago, if you were to ask me to invest in an app where men would pay tens, hundreds, or even thousands of dollars a month for bikini photos and to talk to women online, I would have called you a raving lunatic. But here we are. OnlyFans is a billion-dollar empire with some creators making 8 figures a month. And with the benefit of hindsight, I now see the true genius behind it. Men today are lonelier than they ever have been before. I mean, I'm sure you've heard the statistics of modern men being sexless without relationships and stuck indoors. This is a recipe for disaster, especially for the men who spent their formative years during the lockdown. Many of these young men were stuck indoors, so they didn't learn how to socialize or be confident around women or even take care of themselves physically. Because of this, they're unable to find a desirable sexual or romantic partner. But at the end of the day, they're still human and they have an innate desire to procreate. And if you didn't know, if you don't have a woman, there's a way to take care of yourself. Prawn addiction in the past couple years has certainly shot through the roof. It's accessible on literally every single device, and a date with your right or left hand is a lot easier than learning how to talk to a woman. And from a business standpoint, this is where my first big problem with OnlyFans stemmed from. Why would anyone pay a subscription service for adult content when you can find literally whatever you want on the internet for free? I never thought there'd be men out there that were so stupid that they would pay money to tickle their Johnson. But I missed a key detail that ultimately became the sole reason for OnlyFans' success. Despite being extremely isolated, modern men still crave an intimate emotional relationship with women that goes beyond sexual. And while you can easily simulate a sexual experience with a woman for free with a video in your right hand, there's no free way to simulate a romantic connection to a woman. And this is where OnlyFans truly shines. The users of the app can pay to chat and DM with their favorite creator. To these lonely men, this simulates the emotional connection of a relationship without dealing with the actual pressure of talking to a woman in public. And another thing I didn't realize is there's a lot of suckers out there with a lot of money that are willing to drain their bank account for the prospect of dating a beautiful woman. But obviously, these losers never had a chance, so the cycle is able to continue forever. Parasocial relationships are awesome because they expose the biggest idiots of society and take them out from the competition pool. If you're a competitive male watching this video, you want there to be as many female creators with parasocial relationships with their fans as possible. Because what this means is, while you're training and working on yourself, Jeffrey is watching Amaranth take a bath. And if you and Jeffrey are fighting over the same life, status, and woman, who do you think is gonna win? OnlyFans is the greatest expose of the bottom feeders of society. These guys don't even realize that when they pay to chat with their favorite OnlyFans creator, they're not even texting a woman. They're texting a guy behind a screen who works for an agency whose sole goal is to extract as much money as possible out of these losers. And as the saying goes, a fool and his money are soon parted. This is also the reason why I thought Twitch would never be a success, but is ultimately the reason it's so popular. I never thought people would have hours to watch people sit in a room and silently react to content. But a lot of these viewers are lonely and they want to have friends without actually socializing. So when they watch Pokimane be cute and say the no-no word, it makes them feel like they're hanging out with a cute girl. Combine this with Twitch chat and it's over. If you have no friends but you can pay a beautiful woman on Twitch $10 to address you directly, you're probably gonna spam the crap out of that. And this instant method of communication is how these streamers build these parasocial relationships. And I think this is great because if you're stupid enough to fall for this, you deserve to lose your money. This is also why I find it infuriating when people will get mad at women for posting on OnlyFans. These women only post and make the money they do on this app because there's a demand for it in the market. So don't blame them, blame the people that are consuming this content and paying for it with their hard-earned money. I believe in self-accountability. I'm not gonna say it's Anheuser-Busch's fault that there's alcoholics. The same way, it's not these OnlyFans models' fault for making bank off the app. It's on the consumer to be responsible for their money. But don't think I'm some cold-hearted capitalist that doesn't feel empathy towards others. I understand that OnlyFans is contributing to the downfall of Western society, but it's less so a catalyst for the downfall and more so a byproduct of it. If many men today are lonelier than ever, then it makes sense that they're gonna gravitate towards something that makes them feel less alone, even at the cost of their wallet. And while this will destroy them, the only way they can get out is by taking full accountability of their actions and realizing that they need to change. And if they don't want to change, then I can't really feel bad for them, and I honestly support these creators taking what they can from these guys, because they're clueless and they're not even looking for a clue. People will get all up in arms when Bad Baby makes $18 million her first month on OnlyFans. Why blame her or the app when there's hundreds of thousands of men out there who get no female attention that are willing to pay for a sliver of it? If you're unable to find a young, attractive partner, that's 100% on you. I honestly find it disgusting when people will get mad at these creators for finding value in a market and trying to capitalize off of it. You're getting mad at the wrong person. Get mad at the loser behind the screen who's willing to pay $20 a month for feet pics. I mean, even Kanye isn't willing to pay for OnlyFans.
I get my OnlyFans off of Reddit. I bootleg the OnlyFans.
I also want to say that I'm not picking the side of the creators. Accountability goes both ways. If a woman wants to post her butthole on OnlyFans for $100,000 a month, she should be able to do that, but she also needs to understand that finding a committed partner after that is going to be a lot harder. So these models need to accept that there's a trade-off with the choices they make. And hearing these women whine about how there's no good men left is hilarious, because I'm sure to them, there are no good men in their life because the men they desire don't want them. They'll want them for a night and then immediately forget about them. So no, not all men are toxic. Maybe they just don't want their partner's intimate details shared across the internet. I also don't want to come across like I'm against sex work in general. I actually think strip clubs are pretty cool. I like the social aspect of it where you can meet other people in an environment where there's a common interest. Strip clubs are also a great business model because they incorporate two things that are innate to all men: lust and competition. Lust, I mean, that's obvious, but the competitive element is what really makes it interesting. Every guy in a strip club wants to be the biggest baller that's throwing the most money. So if you own a strip club, have decoy tables in there throwing money and buying bottles to make the atmosphere more competitive. It makes complete logical sense and capitalizes off of man's most intrinsic desires. But at least a strip club is real. There's real girls in there with real music, and if you're in Atlanta, really good wings. But with OnlyFans, it's a complete fabrication. It's taking advantage of the naivete of the biggest losers of society. You could say that's a bad thing, but if you're a grown man who's incapable of thinking for himself and realizing when he's getting scammed, then I'm sorry, but the world's gonna eat you up and no one's gonna come to save you. These people who own OnlyFans agencies are honestly really smart. They understand what men crave most and are able to capitalize off of the dumbest and loneliest men out there. And therein lies the true genius of OnlyFans. As humans, we desire what we are deprived of, and to many young men in the Western world, the biggest deprivation in their life are relationships with women. OnlyFans is able to provide a perceived relationship to these men without actually fulfilling their need for intimate connection. Because in the end, consumers of OnlyFans will never get the satisfaction of an actual relationship, they'll keep feeding into the system and paying creators on the app with the hopes that one day they'll finally be with a beautiful woman. But they never will, so they're gonna keep paying until the end of time. What are your thoughts on OnlyFans and its effect on society? Do you think that is a genius app? Let me know in the comments. I'm really interested to see what you have to say because I know this is a controversial topic. Also, follow me on Instagram. I'm posting there once we hit 10,000 subscribers, so make sure you subscribe. I got so many more videos on the way, and follow me on IG. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.